on the state of the nation. Our party, the People's Democratic Party, is concerned that the APC's recklessness and greed has wrecked our economy. We hold the APC responsible for the devaluation of the Naira, and we are demanding transparency on the 1.3 trillion COVID-19 intervention fund. The All Progressives Congress and the Buhari presidency have finally wrecked our nation's economy, and there's little or no hope in sight under their control. The APC and Buhari presidency has turned us into a beggar nation, as well as the world capital of poverty, with their inherent recklessness and lack of capacity to articulate strategies that will sustain and grow our hitherto robust economy, which they took over from the PDP in 2015. Nigerians are all aware that before the PDP left office in 2015, our party had succeeded in growing our economy with policies and programs that boosted private sector participation to the extent that Nigeria was ranked the third fastest growing economy after China and Qatar, with capacity to lend to other countries. Today, the sheer incompetence, greed, reckless policies, and deep corruption of the APC have reversed all these gains and destroyed our national economic capacities to the extent that our nation can no longer finance our national budget. Our nation is currently in shambles with a drifting economy, a devalued currency of 380 Naira to a dollar, collapsed infrastructure, a frightening 23.1% unemployment rate, high cost of essential goods, increased mobility rate, reduced life expectancy, and a despondent citizenry leaving our country in droves. The situation is worsening with the reckless foreign borrowing by the APC and its administration, which today stands at an alarming $108 billion with no productive repayment plans, funds which have been exposed as being frittered and stolen by the APC leaders and their cabal. The APC as a party has never made any useful suggestion or contribution towards good governance. Of course, it has no such propensity, being only a power-grabbing vehicle fabricated by treasury looters that have no interest in the welfare of Nigerians. More distressing is that the APC federal government has become overwhelmed and confused and now resorts to uncoordinated knee-jerk measures and lame excuses, just as trying to heap the blames of our economic woes just on the COVID-19. It is, however, instructive to note that even before the COVID-19, our economy was already in shambles, and it had been on a free fall in the last 5 years due to the incompetence and reckless policies of the Buhari administration. It is also on record that our party had consistently pointed to the economic lapses of the Buhari-led APC administration with options on economic recovery, which were all ignored. President Buhari and the APC had persistently ignored wise economic counsels by well-meaning Nigerians, groups, and even international organizations who had consistently advised the government on the need to diversify our economy and boost private sector participation. Instead, the APC administration had continued to stifle foreign investments and cripple domestic production with thoughtless exclusionist policies, inordinate laws for control, excessive taxes, repressive and exploitative export and import restrictions, suppression of open market participation, obnoxious forex policies, neglect of infrastructural development, abuse of human rights, and disregard to the rule of law, while failing in promises it made to investors and domestic entrepreneurs. This has led to a loss of investors' confidence and crippling of strategic businesses across critical sectors. It is indeed worrisome that the Buhari administration had chosen to be laid back in the face of serious issues of governance, Nigerians will recall that when oil price dropped to $52 per barrel, below the $57 benchmark for the 2020 $10.95 trillion budget, the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, while briefing instrument at the end of the Federal Executive Council meeting on the 4th of March 2020, admitted that the government was not taking any measure but waiting, according to her, for a reasonable time to act. Only confirmed that the APC government failed to proactively engage other players in the international oil and gas market to adopt quick measures that will have protected our economy from the fallout of the international price war that triggered oil price crash, which now slumped to an alarming $28 per barrel. It is also worrisome that while other countries quickly adopted measures to ease liquidity, the APC administration remained laid back, helpless, only to resort to jack-knee measures. The result was that last week, not a single foreign portfolio investor participated in the open market auction conducted by the CBN. That was a huge vote of no confidence on our system. The APC government later responded with a desperate measure of devaluing our currency to 380 Naira to $1 at the investor and exporter window, a development that has put our economy under more stress. It is therefore clear that our nation, under the APC leadership, is doomed, and our challenges can only get worse under this dysfunctional party. Consequently, the PDP, as a pan-Nigerian party, is deeply worried and cannot fold its hands and watch while those who have no interest in the welfare of our nation continue to wreck the destiny of our people. In the light of the above, the People's Democratic Party resolves as follows. Our party, the PDP, holds the Buhari administration responsible for the devaluation of the Naira due to the failures of this government. President Buhari should immediately end all tactless economic policies, accept failure, seek help, and get more competent hands to work on the economy. Develop strategies to strengthen the Naira as well as paddle our nation out of the current economic country. The government should end its exclusionist policies and allow competent Nigerians who are now being engaged by other countries to help out. The Buhari-led administration should immediately cut down the size of its over-bloated government and plug waste by clipping the luxury expenditure of the presidency, cabinet ministers, and other executive appointees, while channeling billions of naira to be saved from that process to the national economy. The value-added tax, VAT, which it has increased from 5% to 7.5%, with its attendant high cost on essential goods and services. The federal government, in its plan to review the 2020 budget, should not touch items that have direct bearings on the welfare of Nigerians, but should immediately cut all over-bloated executive votes, as well as expunge pardons and fraudulently duplicated items, which our party initially pointed out in the budget. The Buhari presidency should immediately take steps to recover the over 14 trillion stolen by APC cabal, including the 9 trillion stolen oil money, as detailed in the leaked NNPC memo, and channel same to social palliatives. The PDP is worried over allegations of corruption in the handling of the 1.3 trillion set aside to cushion the effect of COVID-19 on the economy. Our party demands ultimate transparency. The federal government should come clean on the source of the intervention fund, the specific intervention projects to which this fund will be applied, involvement of other tiers of government and private stakeholders, vehicle and mode of disbursement and monitoring mechanisms. The PDP also demands that the COVID-19 interventions be allocated to the 3 tiers of government for effective delivery and monitoring. Furthermore, the PDP calls on all economic stakeholders, particularly in the private sectors, to immediately rally to articulate solutions and palliative measures, since it is clear that the Buhari-led APC government is clueless and has no solution to offer. The PDP urges economic stakeholders to articulate ways that will effectively diversify our economy and provide jobs using the all-inclusive measures implemented by the PDP administration to grow the economy as well as successful handling of the emergencies such as the Ebola virus disease. Our party had worked very hard to grow our economy and will not allow an incompetent, insensitive, and corrupt party and its administration to ruin our nation. Thank you. Citizens who have been taken over by other countries in order to help our nation. What other solution do you want us to do?
But the CBN said they did not devalue the Naira, rather it adjusted.
So is it 160 that it started with in the year 2015 when it came into power, or is it 357 that it has claimed to have stabilized it to after it went to $400, $500? Is that where we are today? So it's just a matter of semantics and playing to the gallery if they say that they have not devalued.
However,
not just, we are talking about tax. What of the stamp duties? Have you not received a notification from your banks saying that if you deposit a certain amount of money, you are going to pay a certain amount of money and all that? These are taxes. So we are saying that rather than allowing taxes at this critical time, government should put on hold such measures and get us out of it, where they have pushed us in the area of the economy. And when the economy improves, it can come back to it. Based on its own judgment, it's final. And we also understand the antics of the All Progressives Congress. But our position in the People's Democratic Party is that since the Supreme Court has declared that its decisions are final, and Nigerians have come to accept the fact that the decisions of the Supreme Court are final, if the Supreme Court by any measure or by any way went after the Zamfara judgment for a review, the party, People's Democratic Party, will be forced to seek for review on other elections that we believe were not fairly decided.